Football time on the SportsMax zone now. The Hallgrimsson era as Reggae Boyz head coach starts on Tuesday at the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey, USA, with a mouth-watering friendly against reigning Copa America champions Argentina. Argentina, fresh from a 3-0 win over Honduras last Friday, are on a 34-game unbeaten streak and are expected to field a full-strength team led by 7-time Ballon d'Or winner Lionel Messi. Despite having limited time to prepare for the game, Hallgrimsson says the boys have trained well and go into the match with a positive mindset.
We never have time enough to prepare against a team like Argentina, but we will do our best with the 2 sessions we have, and we will have 4 meetings with the players on the tactical things and stuff, so we will try to use the limited time we have, but of course it would have been preferable to have a lot more sessions, especially for us who are with the national team, but we try to use what former coaches have been doing with the team, so we don't confuse them with a lot of new information for this important match. But tomorrow we will do a little bit more the attacking side of the game, and we will do it on the match venue, so they get familiar with playing there. So probably for some players it's one of the biggest games they will play. It's always big to play against Argentina. A lot of people, a lot of eyes will be on the match, so a big game for a lot of our players.
Yeah, so George, when he was leaving the Norman Manley International Airport, I heard him telling reporters that it's not the ideal way to start against Argentina, currently ranked number 3 in the world, and a team that has beaten the Reggae Boyz every time that they've played them before. So a lot on his plate here, and I don't think it's reasonable to expect the Jamaicans to avoid defeat in this match. I guess it's how they play and how they apply themselves to this assignment that they will be judged on.
Here's the thing. Were this a competitive game, I would predict that the Reggae Boyz would have an average over the 90 minutes of about 17% possession. But it's not a competitive game, so Argentina won't be at it all the way. Given that it's a friendly, but given that Argentina will have some players who will want to send a message to the head coach as well, who believe that they are fringe and they want to, nudge the coach into moving them from fringe into bona fide for the Qatar trip. Jamaica will average about 23% possession. So Argentina will have, 77% possession. Jamaica will have 23%. What will happen in the game is this. Hallgrimsson has said it clear in terms of expectation. We are not going to be expansive because we don't have the preparation to be expansive, because you have to rehearse the attacking maneuvers, and it is easier, not easy, it is easier to collapse into a defensive low block and try to hit Argentina on the break. Long balls out. So Rafael Morris will be looking, Michael Antonio run the channel. Whichever midfielders he start, trying to hit Leon Bailey as well. So for sure, Bailey and Morrison will start. Michael Antonio is certain to start. So that will be the tactics. Very conservative and try to get those runners go, isolate the Argentine defenders if you can catch them thin at the back when they attack in floods, and try to pin something there. What he's saying to you is going to be ultra conservative from the Reggae Boyz. Is going to be ultra defensive, and he's not going there with any delusions of attacking the Argentines and pulling them apart and scoring 2-3 goals.
Yeah, just to emphasize the point that you've just made, George, his first training session, one of only 2 training sessions he'll have with this team, he primarily focused on defensive tactics and defensive organization. Did suggest that on today's second training day, he would look at some offense. But you can hear, based on his narrative, that offense is almost an afterthought, because what he wants to ensure is that they play as tight a game as possible and not be walloped 5 or 6-0.
And that is exactly it. It will be bad optics and bad form in your first game in charge of this team to be whipped by Argentina. You don't want a cricket score. You don't want a situation like in the World Cup where they were beat us, 5-0? It was, 3-0 at halftime, Batistuta getting a hat-trick. We had a man sent off, Darrell Paul, 2 yellow cards in one half of football, which is, I still am angry by it, from 1998. Yeah. So he doesn't want to be embarrassed on his first game. He's going to be very conservative. Expect Leon Bailey to be starved of service because that's just the reality. Expect Antonio to be starved of service. Those guys may play maybe an hour, 65 minutes if they start. Ravel Morrison will not have many targets to hit when he does win possession because all of his players are going to be around him, so it's going to be a 2-3 yard pass.
Or lateral, just lateral for the
there
most
you
part,
go. Right, exactly, 2-3 or back.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going to be a frustrating afternoon. But Hallgrimsson knows if they defend well, they can frustrate the Argentines and draw the game. Who knows? They can defend so well. Maybe they get a corner and they can pinch something. But he knows that if you rehearse attacking in the limited time you have with the team, it's a fool's errand to do that, and he's not a fool. So he's trying to ensure that he doesn't lose badly, he doesn't get embarrassed, and trying to look forward to the next game after this.
So how significant is this game now for both teams? Because you've correctly pointed out that Hallgrimsson doesn't want to have an atrocious start to his stint here as the Reggae Boyz coach. But to be fair to him, he really has nothing to go by. He's now with players for 48 hours or so to prepare for an Argentina game. At the same time, this would be one of Argentina's last friendly internationals before the World Cup. So they're
the last. It will be the last.
So they're just they should be gearing up towards peaking. So we expect Argentina to be a fluent team getting ready for the World Cup.
But just for the first hour, because you have to remember that unlike previous situations where a team playing a last game before a World Cup, the last game before a World Cup, then a break, then the World Cup, these players go back to club football on Saturday and Sunday. So these players, the club managers will be keen watching to say, wait, why did you play Messi for 65, 70 minutes when PSG has a game against, I think it's Nice? I think they have Nice in Ligue 1 on the weekend. Why are you playing Lisandro Martinez when Manchester United have Manchester City on Sunday morning? So those players won't play the bulk, well, they play the bulk of the game, but not the overwhelming bulk. Yeah? So
not 90 minutes.
That is a saving grace for the Jamaicans, as I noted, that Argentina won't be going at it for the whole 90 minutes. Maybe a good solid hour, then the fringe men who come on will try to keep it competitive, but it will peter out after a while. But by that time, Hallgrimsson wants a clean sheet.
That's right.
So when it peters out, he can batten down even further and hold it. If Jamaica gets a draw, it will be a successful first game for the Icelandic coach, I think.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens on Tuesday night at the Red Bull Arena in New Jersey, USA. Jamaica's Reggae Boyz, ranked 62nd in the world at the moment, taking on two-time world champions, currently third in the world, Lionel Messi's Argentina. Back with more after this.